Sounds like teen empowerment has really helped people learn better ways of communication.
And communication is the topic of our next piece on Lisa Roach, the producer of the #1 rated morning radio show on Kiss 108 in Boston.
Check it out.
A passion for radio and communications can propel a career, which is exactly what brought Lisa Roach to the forefront of Boston's radio production scene. Before she became executive producer of the #1 radio show in Boston, Lisa Roach worked in a number of PR jobs after graduating from Emerson College with a degree in communications.
When I graduated, I got an internship with a PR company in Boston. I was doing a lot of, stuff that you wouldn't want to do. I was basically the receptionist when I first started, and then someone left the company and they decided to give me my own account, to give me a shot at managing an account. So I was stuffing envelopes, I was making copies, I was answering the phone, and I was also, calling on press people and writing press releases. I was doing everything.
Ironically enough, Lisa Roach heard about the Maddie production job while listening to the radio station. Eventually selected from 400 applicants, Roach now views her job as a natural choice for her lifelong interest in communication.
I was doing freelance work, and Matt Siegel, who's the host of Maddie in the Morning, came on the radio, and he said he was looking for a producer. And he said to call this number and leave a message, and I did, and I got the job out of, I think, 400 applicants. And then 4 months later, they decided to put me on the air as well as keeping me as the show's producer.
Aside from handling the everyday business aspects and maintaining a show on the most listened to radio station in the Boston area, Roach is also the show's weather and traffic announcer. Ideas for features and contests are headed by Roach as well.
I'm the executive producer, and I'm also the traffic reporter and sort of like the girl on the show. So I wear a couple of different hats. Mainly, I'm in charge of coming up with ideas for the show, whether it be contests or guests, working with the other 2 producers that we have on staff, and we just kind of work as a team. But I'm always trying to keep in the back of my mind who our listener is, and is the guest we're booking speaking to who our core listener is. And then on the other side, I'm on the air, so I have to sort of keep up with current events and popular culture on my own time, so I can add different things to the show on a daily basis.
Being in contact with the mix of major musical and political stars like Hillary Clinton and Britney Spears is every bit as fun and demanding as it sounds.
My job is to sort of look at popular culture and to sort of gauge what people are going to be into before they're into it. I sort of have to take like sort of a broad look at what's out there and look at who our audience is and decide. And coming up with like things like The Apprentice and spoofing it, or Medford Idol, which we came out with the first year of American Idol. Those things are just fun because you get to like produce like a little mini, almost like a little mini TV show, but make it good for radio, which is always a challenge.
A radio day begins around 5 in the morning when Lisa Roach comes into the studio and meets with her staff to discuss the show sheets, which consists of several breaks and segments that will make up that day's programming.
A typical day for us on the Maddie in the Morning show is we're here by 5. When I walk in the door, I prepare what's called a show sheet, which is pretty much break by break of our entire show for 4 hours. During the show, I'm making sure if we have a guest that's calling in, making sure they're on time. If we have people arriving for another guest break, they're in the lobby, just making sure they have everything that they need. I sort of give them an idea of what we're looking for, for their participation on the show. We watch the news, we monitor the news all morning, we monitor all the newspapers. I read 3 or 4 newspapers a day. I'm not only looking for ideas for the show, but I'm also just looking for daily events that if we're talking about something, I kind of know what's going on. After the show, we work on booking the next day or the following week. We're usually here until around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then if we're dealing with someone from Los Angeles or someone from Europe, we can be working until 9 o'clock at night.
In the end, Roach enjoys the daily challenges that live radio presents her with.
TV is so exciting. But radio is equally as exciting because you really have to be a lot more clever to get your message across, because you're not solely using, obviously, the visual element. So you really have to be able to paint a picture in people's heads just using sound and your voice. And it's such a challenge, but when it works, it's great, and it's so much fun.